Cote, and I'm the former president of the IBU, former business agent, former deckhand, former cook for Crowley. Cut my teeth in 1989. Never looked back. The IBUs is an extremely unique situation all the way around. There's nothing else like it. And we had this beautiful constitution and basically was a great roadmap if you follow it. And that was the key to me, was to fight hard to improve the working conditions of the people that were there, to restore some of the stuff that we lost in the strike, to bring the members back to the hall and get them engaged, whereas many members had kind of given up and wouldn't come to meetings. They would just let things go the way they were, because, those strikes take a lot out of people. But luckily I was elected, and I had very good people to work with and new people that I brought in, and hopefully it'll be shown that I turned some of that around and the union became more vibrant. The union got back to its original roots. But for the most part, our union is built on the rank and file. It's a rank and file union. It's a democratic union. I used to joke, we couldn't even change the toilet paper in the head without taking a vote. And that's good. I mean, to me, that was the way it's supposed to be. I mean, certainly many times I was not able to pursue an agenda, or people would disagree with me, or, I would be kind of, left going, okay, I guess you don't want to do that, that's fine. And that's the point of it. It is fine. I mean, if the member tell you, if you have gone to the members and you have the ear of the members and you listen to the members, they will never really steer you wrong. You might disagree with them, but overall it's their choice. My job wasn't to tell them what to do. My job was to show them how to get something done that they wanted to do. All of our existence hangs by the thread of the Jones Act. I mean, without the Jones Act, without good cabotage laws, and I've seen it in other countries, when the cabotage laws break down and the foreign nationals are able to come in and invest and undercut our current employers by being able to do stuff cheaper with newer equipment, and they just dump money into a place, Edison Schwest's story right there. And so that's one of my fears, is that the political climate is going to change enough to the point to where someone is going, the big box stores and their lobbyists will finally get over that hurdle and either gut the Jones Act or eliminate it. And that would be probably the single biggest disaster that could occur to the maritime unions and our employers that, that I could imagine off the top of my head. The others are a little bit different. Where are we going to get new sailors? Where are we going to replace the old salts when they retire? I mean, it's not a career that a lot of young people are going into. Now, we've worked hard with Tongue Point and, different programs to get young people to come into the industry, but, it's an upward battle, just because the amount of attrition we're going to see and the amount of experience we're going to see that's going to go away is going to be very difficult to replace. And the companies know that. And, they're recruiting. But once again, that is part of the reason I worry about the Jones Act, because if we can't man those ships ourselves, pretty soon the argument is going to be, well, we have all these sailors over here in Eastern Europe, we got all these sailors over here, and, wherever, and, they do this all over the world, why can't they do this here? And so that's a fear that I think everybody should pay attention to. Participate. I don't care what you participate in. Find something you enjoy. If you're one of those web gurus and you want to put content on the website and you're good at that, do it. If you like talking to your fellow workers and you are a good problem solver and you got a good head on your shoulder, and become a steward and take the class. Understand what you're doing. Don't just take the. I've seen so many people get the title of something, but they don't get the gist of the job. It's like, oh, well, I'm the steward, union steward, and they pump their chest and walk around and act important and stuff. And the reality is the steward's job is not a very glamorous job if you do it correctly, but it's one of the most important jobs. And there are certain people that are very good at it, and leadership has to identify those people that have that kind of talent and nurture them to do that. But if that's not what they want to do, it doesn't matter. Find something to do. Participate in anything. Volunteer organizing committee, steward, delegate, explain to people why it's important to vote. That if we had more members that would just get out the vote. I mean, the voting is atrocious, our percentages. And that's true for many unions, it's true for the country in general maybe, but it's one of those things that, a young person, if you're just coming on, you want to learn about the union, those are the kinds of things you should just do. You should, learn, go to a meeting, take a class, and the leadership should be there in nurturing that person. I see so many times a union leader that just doesn't even want, I don't know, for lack of a better word, the competition. They don't want to bring someone young up that's smart and, ambitious. It makes them nervous because part of being in a union is political. That's all face facts. You run for office, you have your own little fiefdom or whatever, and you want to protect that. You don't want any upstart coming in and upsetting the apple cart. So instead of nurturing that person, you just kind of, cut them loose. Yeah. I guess I'm not as normal as some leaders because I did do the opposite, and I believed in the opposite. I never feared teaching somebody anything they wanted to know, showing them the ropes, encouraging them to run for office, encouraging them to do whatever it is they feel like they need to do. Because, well, as I found out, and any union leader finds out eventually, regardless of the reason, it's not a job for life. And it shouldn't be a job for life. It's a job that's very hard, very stressful. I think one reason I stayed in office as long as I did was nobody else wanted the job. But the fact is, when you are in these positions, you shouldn't look at it as a job. It's a service to the union. And when that service is over, just raise your head high and move on to something else. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It might feel like the end of the world, but it ain't the end of the world. And to have young people come up that you've taught, that you've nurtured, and then watch that person grow into a position of leadership, and who knows, they might even call you on the phone and ask you for advice. That's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to see that the legacy is intact. And I don't mean my legacy, I mean the legacy of the union is intact. The integrity of the union is intact. And that's how you do that. It's by having young, strong leaders to come up and give a different view of the same old problem. Because, many problems I couldn't solve, but I'm sure there's some people in this union, when they come up and take on the mantle of leadership, very well could figure out how to solve those problems.